Nigga different.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy MF Different, and I'm back. It's been a long while, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, not that any of y'all probably noticed or missed me, but for those that did, I'm back. You know what I'm saying? I'm back. I'm gonna be a whole lot more consistent. Just gonna kind of jump into this real quick. So for the channel, ideas and stuff going into 2025, definitely want to be consistent. And I'm kind of going to transform this channel into my passions, right? Because, like, I love horror movies. Well, I love movies in general, but definitely, like, horror movies as just a whole has kind of, like, run my life. I got a bunch of Funko Pops that are horror-related. I got a bunch of movie posters that are horror-related. My calendar's horror-related. Phone case horror-related. I mean... And, also have an obsession with, like, you know, sports, definitely at basketball for sure. Hence the tier lists, why the names are there. We're going to get into why those names are those names. LeBron. So, yeah. But other than that, I mean, let's just jump right into it. Starting in 2010 is kind of when I broke out and started watching horror movies on my own. Like, growing up, you know, obviously I was watching, you know, the original It, you know, Jeepers Creepers, original Saw, The Thing.
We do not care.
So I was watching all those things growing up, but I didn't actually step out into like my own kind of, you know, path with horror, if you would say, until about 2010. So, you know, once that started, I kind of just every year I just started taking like horror movies like more and more serious, kind of watching them not just from like a fan standpoint, but more from like a film criticism standpoint. Just because like I heavily critique a lot of movies, and it's almost to the point to where I sometimes I can differentiate and watch the movie for just pure like, you know, enjoyment, but then most of the time I am definitely like focusing on like angles, dialogue, story, plot, character development, endings. I'm a huge ending guy.
Get a load of this guy. Get a load of him.
Not to kind of like, because I stay doing this, I'll be rambling and shit because I'll be high, but to get back on point, yeah, I'm going to be covering from starting. Eventually, I'm going to cover a bunch of horror movies from all, you know, years. But right now, starting for the channel, we're going to do from 2010 up until most recently 2025. And I'm pretty much just going to go to, you know, some movies I might go a little bit in depth because I'm a little biased and I might really love those movies. And some movies I'm probably just going to be like, this shit was ass. Give you a quick little Spark Notes synopsis and call it a day. And then put it in its tier list. Apart from that, though, I'm trying to think what else I might have to mention.
6 hours later.
Apart from that, let's get into the names of the tiers. Pretty self-explanatory. So for the top spot, we got Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? Best human to ever touch a basketball. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. He's my GOAT. Definitely best of all time. It's hard, though, because I definitely was a huge Michael Jordan fan. Definitely growing up. And, like, just in general, I love MJ. I think that he is the pinnacle of what just a human is as far as, like, athleticism standpoint goes. Because the motherfucker walked in to the championship, to the finals 6 times and walked out with the hardware 6 times. I mean, there's not really much to debate on that part. Yeah. But Steph Curry, definitely my GOAT, for sure, putting him above. One of the best shooters of all time. One of just the best players of all time. Great handle. Great layup package. Fucking literally like shattered records for all the previous shooters. Like,
Oh my God! I got you in 4K. Just dick rotted.
he's just the best basketball player, hands down. Got 4 motherfucking rings, a bunch of accolades. Like I'm not got robbed in 2016 for the Finals MVP because motherfuckers gonna sit up here and give it to Iggy when what did Iggy do? He maybe stopped LeBron from scoring another extra 5 points. Whoop-de-fucking dude. The dude damn near still averaged almost, 30-something in the goddamn finals? Neither here nor there. We're not going to get into that. What we are going to get into is the fact that that is the top of the tier list. If you, comparing it to movies, pretty much, to get into this tier, you need to be the best. You need to be the greatest of all time. Best shooter of all time. Best everything of all time. Your movie needs to literally speak volumes. It needs to be the best. That's it, hands down. All right, the Nikola Jokic tier. I feel like that one's kind of self-explanatory within itself. It is the tier where you did your thing, you doing your thing, you here, you putting up triple doubles, you putting up amazing stats, you know what I'm saying? You doing everything that you need to do as a basketball player. But you only got one ring, you know what I'm saying? There was maybe a couple things in your game early on or later on, you know, that could have maybe hindered you from getting the top spot for the Steph Curry spot, you know what I'm saying? So that's where, if your movie falls in that line, it's still not a bad tier to be in, but you know, it ain't Steph, you know what I'm saying? And then we got the James Harden tier, which might be a little controversial, but definitely got him as like one of my best, not the best, all right, maybe like top 3, top 4 best shooting guards of all time, like hands down. Nothing to really debate there. If you do debate that, then
Suck my dick!
Because I'm not really going to sit up here and talk about somebody who for damn near 12 to 13 years went on a span of averaging more than, I want to say, 20 points. He never averaged below 20 points for a 12-year span. And I think the highest he had at one point was like 36 points per game. Offensively efficient. I don't give a fuck about the defense. Fuck all that shit. One of the best. So he's in the middle because, again, regular season juggernaut. Fucking phenomenal. One of the best. But what have you done in the playoffs? Nothing. So, for that reason, if your movie ends up in that tier, you know, your movie was kind of like a hidden gem. It was good. It was a little slept on. Maybe didn't do the best in the box office. Maybe didn't do the best, you know. But it was still there. It was a good movie. You know, it was a sleeper. I fucked with it. You know what I'm saying? All right, so now we got the Ben Simmons category. Self-explanatory. Your movie was ass juice, trash, basura. Get it out of here. Get it off the airwaves, Sway. I don't want to hear. There was no reason for you to make this movie. I don't know. Somebody should have paid you the budget that they gave you to do this movie to not do it. I would have paid you to keep it in the files. You understand that? All right, bet. So now we're moving on to the last tier, probably the most controversial tier, but should be expected from a Golden State fan, the LeBron James tier. Now, am I challenged mentally? A little bit.
It hit different.
Do I understand that he is arguably one of the best basketball players of all time? Yeah, whatever. Am I gonna say it out loud? No, I'm not. Fuck Bron. It's always gonna be fuck Bron. I don't give a fuck.
Use your aggressive feelings, boy. Let the hate flow through you.
The nigga went to the finals 10 times and won 4. And then one of them was a Mickey Mouse ring. One of them, he got saved by Kyrie. One of them, he got saved by Ray Allen. What are we talking about here? There's only one championship where he flat out actually dominated and won.
Talk to this nigga! Talk to this man!
Stop it, okay? We can have that discussion definitely at a later date, because I would love to go into why I believe LeBron has one of the most overrated careers of all time. Yes, I'm saying that. Now, let's back to the tier list. For starters, Chain Letter. Terrible. Let's just get this out of the way. I'm going to put it straight up in the LeBron James tier because it was ass. It was a play on like kind of like the early 2000s with the possessed chain letters and chain emails and like messenger shits like BBM. Yes, I'm that old. BlackBerry Messenger. AIM. Yeah, also that old, unfortunately.
I love the young people.
So yeah, like stuff like that. It would be like, oh, send this to like 50 contacts, and if you don't, you're gonna die in 6 days. Like some stupid shit. Nobody was ever sending them shits. Nobody ever believed them. I don't think anything ever happened with those. But they decided to make a movie out of it. And terrible. All right, so next. Tucker and Dale versus Evil. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna put it in James Harden tier. Only for the reason that it actually isn't that bad. So like going into it, like earlier when I was younger, I was like, nah, this movie sucks. It looks terrible. Like I didn't see it, but looking from like the trailer and like the overall, the fuck is the word? The rollout for it, like the trailers and everything, which also, I'm going to just put this out there as a disclaimer. Well, one, there's probably going to be some spoilers in here, maybe. I don't know, I can't really tell you, but just put it out there as a disclaimer so you don't get pissed off at me. If you're going to watch any of these movies that are in this tier list, go do it before you watch this tier list. So pause the video now, like it, subscribe if you haven't already, and then go watch the movie, come back, and then see what the fuck I rated it. Bet.
Do it.
Do it.
All right.
So essentially, I didn't want to watch the movie because I was judging it hard as fuck. I was like, nah, this should look ass. What the fuck? Some hillbillies, non-relatable. I'm from New York. Like, what am I gonna do with this? Nah. So then, bet I watched it years later, and actually the take on it isn't that bad. It's pretty fucking funny, and it also just kind of like highlights how don't judge a book by its cover. Because the movie pretty much, it's these two hillbillies that are pretty much just going about their life, doing, everything that they do. And there's a group of privileged, teenagers, the whole bit. They go into the woods and all this stuff. And things just start happening. And they keep thinking that it's these hillbillies that are doing it to them, that are antagonizing them or being slashers or whatever you will have it. And couldn't be far from the truth. Actually, they're probably one of the nicest guys that are there, and they're trying to like help them in certain situations. But it's just certain gags that are really funny, and it honestly ain't that bad. I ain't even gonna lie. So we're gonna put it in the James Harden tier because it's a little bit of a sleeper. Maybe for some people they might have it in the Nicola tier or maybe the Steph tier. I would never, but definitely falls comfortably in the James Harden tier. Let's move to next. Now, Devil. I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Might be a controversial take. But I got it in the Nikola Jokic tier. And this is why. It wasn't bad. It really wasn't bad. So, like, there was a couple twists and turns in there. Because usually I'm really good with finding out the ending and stuff. Well, this was also early in my horror, watching career. So maybe I wasn't, the best at guessing. But I definitely had it pinned on one person the entire movie. And I could have swore. I'm like, nah, it's this motherfucker. Guilty as charged. Book 'em, boys. Nah, couldn't have been further from the truth. And it just it plays on, religion and like the typical like, devil and all the antichrist and all this stuff. But it's cool because it mostly takes place in an elevator, which I tend to like movies that are like in one location. Like I loved Phone Booth with Colin Farrell from back in the day.
I don't know. I never thought I'd get this far.
Either way, I kind of like places that it just takes place in like one spot, right? Because that shows a lot of creativity from the director because it's kind of hard to do that. I mean, it does branch out. Obviously, it shows like, the main floor and like outside situations going on and stuff like that. But for the most part, it is in this one building. And it's fire. Definitely one of those like just go into it with no expectations. Don't watch any trailers, nothing like that. But it's a good time. It's definitely a good watch. Yeah, I was vibing with it for the most part. So I'm definitely going to put it in the Nikola Jokic tier. And yeah, that's it. All right, so next one. I believe this is, oh my God. I hated this movie.
That shit was garbage, nigga. I hated every second of it. I hated every fucking second of it.
Let's just flat out start it off there. Let's put it in the LeBum tier. I fucking hated this movie. The rollout for it was so overhyped. The trailers, best scary movie of all time. Da da da. All this stuff. So scared. People were leaving the theaters. All this stuff. Da da da. Bro. First off, I mean, I already said first off. Second off, I really hate when like promoters and just people do the like studios do this shit. They'll say, "Oh, horror movie of the year," da 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 da, because you showed it to a bunch of fucking pussies.
Watch your profanity.
You showed it to a bunch of people who probably can't even watch like that. Probably fucking thinks ketchup is spicy or Doritos are fucking spicy. You showed it to vanilla people. Okay.
What do you mean by that?
And I don't mean vanilla as in like the race. I mean vanilla as in like plain. You showed it to plain people. Show it to people who actually have a care for horror. Show it to people who actually have a passion for horror and who like will actually dive deep into it and actually like pay attention and all this shit. Just getting off topic here. But show it to people that are actually going to give it a proper rating, not walk out of the theater in the first 10 minutes because the bitch ate a bug, okay? Like, let's not do that, all right? My whole thing with the Last Exorcism, it was trash. Just the whole plot was trash. It didn't play into the first movie or the second movie well, which in general, this is going to be a hot take. As a whole, I think Exorcist is overrated. I'm not gonna lie. The first movie was ass. It's just belligerent. It's a bunch. It's grotesque. It's just over the top for no reason. Now again, are there movies that I love that are grotesque and over the top? Yes, but they do it with class. They do it with excellence, exquisiteness. Okay, this shit is just bad taste. It's terrible. So for that reason, we're just gonna put The Last Exorcism in the last fucking tier. Okay, it's ass. Now next. I want to say this movie right here probably is the whole reason why I really started to sink my teeth into horror. Okay? I fucking love this movie. And on some people's tier list, it might be at the bottom. I don't know why this movie gets so much hate, especially like later on in the years. I feel like early on it was like just like a staple in the horror industry. It was like really good. Okay, so kind of going to dive in a little bit deep on this one. But from start to finish, Insidious is a banger. Straight up banger. I'm talking about from literally the beginning. What movie you know that can make your fucking skin crawl from the credits alone? Alone. You can't. Okay? This movie literally is creepy as fuck from beginning to end. I'm talking the credits. I'm talking the scorn throughout the entire movie with the fucking and all the fucking the strings and the this and the that and the fucking and the fucking. It's really fucking good. The scenes are creepy. It doesn't rely only on jump scares. Like, there are jump scares in it, yes.
Oh my God.
It doesn't rely on that. It could not have, you could literally eliminate those jump scare scenes and it's still creepy as fuck. There is a child in one of the scenes that's just like dancing all creepily and he looks like he's from the 20s, and you come to find out if you watch the fucking director's cut or the behind the scenes or whatever on the DVD, that was a real grown man. That was a grown man. That's creepy. Okay? Like, there's just a lot of things about this movie. The fucking the scene when they go into the further and they fucking they have the like when they the one scene that really gets me when they go down or when the dad.
Have you ever had a dream that you
is trying to find the son or whatever, and he's going through this one house and the family is there and like there's they pretty much got murdered or whatever by the father, I believe, with the shotgun, and then they literally all turn to him as he's about to go up the stairs and they just like they just like it's one of the creepiest scenes in there. There's a lot that encompasses horror in this movie, and it's the beginning of, in my opinion, like really good horror, right? So you had like horror movies that were like really good twists and turns. Like Saw had probably one of the best twists and turns in history because it kind of, in my opinion, set the precedent for like twists and turns. But this one is just great all around. And the biggest part that I didn't even mention, it doesn't rely on a rated R rating. It's PG-13. And it still manages to be one of the scariest movies of all time. How? That just goes to show you that it's not all about gore and over-the-top jump scares and cussing up a storm and all this shit. It's about actual story development, character, changing up the narrative. We've had so many paranormal movies, right? But this one actually switched it. It wasn't the house that was haunted, it's the damn kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was really good. And then it even took it from not just being a typical haunted thing. It showed you what it went into. It went into the further. It went into the other side, you know, like the fucking, the damn, you know, that in between, like where it's not heaven or hell, but like, you know, the gray area. Like, it was a really good movie. And all that to say, it is definitely going in the Steph Curry tier list.
It's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Eventually, I'm going to do a tier list where, like, all my greatest, favorite movies of all time. It's going to be hard, but I'm going to do it in order. This is definitely in top 10. For sure. Not even a question. And I'm confident to say that and have no problem saying that. Okay, next. Let me stop glazing. So, we got Piranha 3D. I think y'all all know where this is going. I'm not even going to give it the Ben Simmons treatment. I'm going to just straight the bum. This movie sucked. Like, flat out trash. There's nothing to debate on that one. So, we're going to put that in that tier. And on top of that, they had a dude's Johnson get straight up Mike Tyson on there.
Pause.
Straight up. And they showed it. Why would I want to see a fish burp up a fucking, some meat? Pause. Why would I want to see that? No. Way too graphic, bro. Good on that. So, next. One of the most badass movies of all time. Straight up going in Nikola Jokic tier. I Spit on Your Grave. One badass movie. And I'm talking about from the standpoint of a badass female lead character. I have never actually felt a movie like and really was like engaged and like want to punch somebody in the fucking like in the screen because just like I was that engaged to the like immersed into the story and shit. But that woman, this woman goes through hell, right? Essentially, she gets forcefully wrestled by a group of guys, and obviously you can use your context clues for that because I'm not going to say what it actually happened for YouTube purposes, but she was forcefully wrestled by a bunch of dudes, and not only does she survive, but she literally picks them off one by one in such chef's kiss fashion, and I love it. All of them got exactly what they deserved, especially the last dude. Especially. So, for that reason, and that reason alone, it's got to go in the Nikola Jokic tier. No doubt about it. Unfortunately, it's not in the Steph Curry tier, but great movie. A lot of the scenes in it are very hard to watch. Not gonna lie. There's only 2 movies that have been hard for me to watch. And, well, not like the entire movie, but specific scenes. So I Spit on Your Grave is one, and Martyrs, the original one, is definitely number 2, which I'm sure eventually I'm going to cover on the channel. But, yeah, no. Not it. Not going to lie. It's a very uncomfortable watch. But if you're able to be a sick fuck and get through that kind of shit, then by all means, you are in for a great movie that's going to knock you off your fucking feet. Not going to lie. Yeah, don't be afraid of the dark. And I'm putting this in Ben Simmons tier. Simply for the fact that it had potential. It was cool. They tried. But, I mean, there was only one movie that really, like, executed the whole, like, Tooth Fairy kind of thing. And, I think Darkness Falls, I'm pretty sure that was the movie. But I think that was the only one that actually kind of did it good. Yeah, the little girl in this was kind of annoying. The lead actors in this were also pretty fucking annoying, like the adults. From what I remember, the creatures weren't even that scary. Like, I don't know. Just for me, I feel like it had a decent amount of hype and just didn't really like live up to it. So for me, it's gonna have to go into the Ben Simmons tier, straight up. Now we got The Crazies. COVID before COVID. Am I right? Yeah, pretty much. It's a pathogen kind of movie where there's a aerial disease or like thing, whatever the fuck, that's making people crazy. And pretty self-explanatory. It's borderline like a horror. I mean, not horror. Borderline like a zombie movie. If you really want to take it there, but pretty creative. I mean, definitely good. I rocked with it. Not gonna put it too crazy high up in the tier list, but it was definitely calm. I'm gonna have to put it in the James Harden tier because I liked it. I mean, it definitely had some like memorable scenes in there. But overall, middle of the road. Nothing really crazy, I ain't gonna lie. So yeah. But next, we got I Saw the Devil. Oh man.
It's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Right off the ripper. Straight off the bat. Steph Curry tier. Go. Straight up. If this isn't my favorite foreign horror movie, I don't know what is. This movie made me so immersed. I have never gotten so bricked up off a movie that didn't have fucking Lisa Ann featuring in it before, like this one, okay?
You what?
Dog, this movie was so fire. Straight up. And I'm not talking about from like a, wild standpoint, from a freaky standpoint. I'm talking about just straight up, this movie was so fucking good. Straight up, let me just set the tone for you. So, badass FBI agent, right? Wife gets murdered by a serial killer. He stops at nothing, and I mean nothing, to find out who this serial killer is. Once he finds out who he is and gets his hands on him, he beats the ever living shit out of this dude, right? Like badly, breaks his arm, everything, but doesn't kill him. On the contrary, he slaps an envelope of money on his chest and pretty much, like, I think he brings him to the hospital, or that was in a later on scene, but pretty much, like, let him go, right? But there's a catch. He left a tracker on him. The killer doesn't know where, but pretty much it is a straight up cat and mouse game, the entire movie, of him just repeatedly finding him and just fucking him up. Beyond recognition. And I loved every minute of it. But there are some twists and turns. And I'm going to leave that up to y'all. I'm not going to spoil this one, because honestly, this one was so fucking fire. You need to go see it.
Do it. Do it.
No question. Super fire. If you can, it's a little bit gory and a little bit much at times, but if you can handle it, I promise you, this movie will make it into your top 5. Top 5 or top 10. Super good. I love this movie. And then, also, you get so immersed into the fact of how it ends. Like, you feel that shit. Like, there's been a few times where I actually watch a movie and, like, it leaves with me at the end of it, but, like, nah, dog. This one, it hits close to home because it's like, well, what the fuck would I do in this situation? Like, and do you even really win? You know? Like, it's fire, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Watch it. Without any further ado, that's going up straight into the goddamn Steph Curry's here. Bad goat. And then, next one, we got Legion. So for me, I don't know why this movie gets hated on so much. I think it was a pretty cool action horror. One of the lead dude, I think that's a Skarsgård. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Maybe I'm tweaking. But really good in that movie. They also had my dude from Doom in there and like Judge Dredd. I forget the actor's name, but he was really good in that shit too. Like, overall, the shit was fire. I was fucking with it. And it had so many quotables from the shit. It had the old lady talking about
I said your fucking baby's gonna burn.
She was talking crazy. I forgot what she said specifically. I might edit it in. But she was talking wild, like spicy. And I'm pretty sure that's one of the clippable moments from that shit. There was a bunch of good moments from this movie. Again, I don't understand why it gets shitted on so much. Maybe due to like actual like facts and like, you know, connectivity to religion and stuff like that. Maybe they messed up on some things. Maybe they didn't. I don't know. Maybe people thought it was cheesy. Honestly, I thought the shit was fire. I'm going to have to put it in Nikola Jokic tier. That's me personally. You got a problem with it?
Suck my dick!
So next, we got Let Me In.
Hey, yo.
I think Let Me In's a little gassed. Is it good? Yeah, it's cool. But, nah, man. I don't know. Like, straight up, I'm going to have to put it in the James Harden tier. Just because, like, it's a little slow. I mean, again, I like certain slow movies, right? But it's like, you got to get to something eventually, right? You got to get to something that's fire. Like The Witch. The Witch is perfect for that. It's a slow movie, but it builds up to a really good ending or a really good climax, whatever you want to call it. It's fire. There's a lot of movies that can do it, and there's a lot of movies that can't do it. And unfortunately, this is one of the movies that cannot do it. So, for that reason, it is what it is. Little synopsis on it. I'm pretty sure it's like this girl, this new chick moves in next door to this neighbor kid who's kind of getting bullied and he's kind of like a punk. And just slowly but surely she starts kind of like looking after him and like kind of putting him under the wing, and slowly but surely he starts to figure out who she really is, what she really is. Yeah, it's weird. I didn't really like it. There's other like vampire movies that do better, so for that purpose I'm gonna have to put it in the James Harden tier. For other people, I've seen it way higher rated. I've seen people definitely like this movie. Me personally, I don't see the hype. Is what it is. Next we got Mother's Day. It was cool from what I remember. I mean, it got one of the dudes from The Purge in it. I forgot his name. That's another thing. I know all these people, like these actors and directors and shit.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
But I really don't know how to like say the names. Like I gotta get better at that. Well, eventually I will. But for now, yeah, the dude from The Purge. I think he was in the second one, where he was like pissed off that his daughter got killed, and he was gonna go out and like he was gonna kill people or kill the person that killed his daughter, whatever. So he was in it. It wasn't that bad. It was like, it's in the Ben Simmons tier. It's bad. It's just one of those like typical like, you know, Tubi specials. You know what I'm saying? It ain't really, you know, straight to DVD kind of thing. It wasn't the greatest, but if you got nothing to do, you got like an hour and some change to waste, you want to watch a bullshit movie, eat some bullshit popcorn, maybe, you know, be on your phone for half of it, that's a movie for you. But not me. So, next. My Soul to Take. My Soul to Take, I'm going to put it in the James Harden. Kind of feel like My Soul to Take was a little slept on. It was cool. I ain't gonna lie. It was one of them like little teenage like, you know, movies that you just fucked with as a teen. I don't know. I got a couple of those. So when I was younger, this was one of them. It was, I think it's pretty much kind of like a Final Destination meets like Happy Death Day in a sense, because it's a serial killer who dies, right? But then like a list of teens pretty much gets picked off, right? Like it starts going in order of like teens, and they just start dying in weird ways, and it comes to a climax and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. I don't remember too much about it, but I definitely remember I really did like it for some reason. So yeah, for that reason, I'm gonna have to put it in the James Harden tier. And like I said, some movies are gonna get more descriptions than others. I really genuinely don't remember all of these, and that should also go to show y'all that this is organic and kind of authentic. I'm just going off top. I don't got a whole script in front of me and all this shit. I'm just doing what I gotta do. So next one, I'm gonna say Nightmare on Elm Street. Boop.
Oh no. Oh no.
Terrible entry. Probably one of the worst. Just off the fact that you didn't have the original Freddy Krueger there. And then also, like, the CGI on Freddy in this movie was really bad. The storyline was really bad. The acting was shitty. The teens in this movie were actually probably unbearable to watch. Like, the character development, I've never been more detached to a group of characters than this one. Well, arguably. But it was bad. I did not fuck with it. One of the worst entries, honestly, in my opinion. So for that point alone, it's got to go in the bum tier. Paranormal Activity 2. This is a tough one. I ain't gonna lie, because the first one to me was kind of nostalgic and groundbreaking. One of the better found footage films in my generation, I feel. Blair Witch sucked.
I'm like, what do you say fuck me for?
That's just my opinion. But yeah, I got Paranormal 2 probably in the James Harden tier. Paranormal 1, I might have in the Nikola Jokic, maybe Steph Curry tier. Maybe Steph Curry just on the fact of how like I don't want to say groundbreaking, but it was definitely like a mainstream hit. Like Paranormal Activity put horror in the mainstream for sure at one point. Like it was one of those. I ain't gonna lie. I think honestly they should have just had a one and done. I don't think they should have kept it going with the paranormals and given us like 7 of them, but we did. We ended up getting them, so it is what it is. But for me, I'm gonna have to put Paranormal 2 right there. All right, so this one's not really like a horror movie. It's more like a psychological thriller with maybe a couple scary parts, you know. But Perfect Host. I love this movie. So me personally, I'm going to put it there. I love this movie just for the fact that you don't really know where it's going. The twists and turns go all over the place. And it just starts with such a simple premise, right? A guy robs a bank, he's on the run, and he's just trying to pretty much get away. And he ends up bumping into the shelter of this perfect host. And shit goes left very quickly. I love it. Like I said, the ending was great. I just thought the whole movie was really good. There was one scene in there specifically that had me fucking crying.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Me and my cousins, because I watched this with my cousins Troy and Tori. Shout out to y'all. But yeah, I would definitely recommend this one. Give it a watch. I'm pretty sure it's like on Hulu or some shit. But yeah, definitely check this one out. This one was fire. So, Resident Evil Afterlife. I'm going to make this one quick. LeBum. Trash. Resident Evil 1 and 2, probably the best Resident Evils in the franchise. Apart from that, the rest suck. Terrible CGI, terrible story, terrible action. It just it sucks. Y'all should have stopped after 2. With the desert one was even a stretch. I tried to give y'all a chance on that one. That one was awful, but then y'all just kept it going. I don't understand. My whole gripe. I don't understand why franchises can't just like take a good thing, right? Leave it for what it is, and then build off of that, right? So you make a hit. Don't give me 8 of the same hits, right? Why would I want to keep having the same fucking sandwich every day? The first time I ate the sandwich, it was fire. Obviously, after the 8th, 9th time of eating that sandwich, it's going to get old, right? So how about you give me some new sandwiches? How about that? I'm tired of this shit. Especially nowadays with the whole...
Can you shut the fuck up?
Going to be in these tier lists. Unfortunately, I like to talk, so there's going to be rants. But this is one of them. I'm tired of Hollywood. What's up with the remasters? Why are there so many remasters? Every time I turn around, y'all want to remaster something, and then y'all ruin it. Like Halloween, for example, right? The first one, the 2018 one, cool. Wasn't too bad. Then you give me the other installments. Why? Why? The last one ruined Halloween to the point to where now I can't even go back and watch the originals. I cannot watch Michael Myers anymore because I know what it's going to lead to. Right? Ruined the franchise for me. Okay? Texas Chainsaw. The installment in 03, despite what everybody else feels about it, wasn't bad. It was really good. But y'all decided to then make a 3D version, which sucked. And then you release probably, I want to say arguably, and I'm going to have a tier list for this too, like the top 10 worst horror movies of all time. This is probably in there. The newest installment of the Texas Chainsaw one was so laughably bad. I wanted to cut it off so many times, and my girlfriend forced me to watch it. Like, not forced me, but she was like, let's just finish it. Let's just finish it. It is what it is. Like, we already watched a decent amount of it. Let's just finish it. Why do y'all do this?
Why? Because fuck them, that's why.
Like, what? Has Hollywood literally lost all creativity that we once had? Everything is just has fallen to CGI, AI, all these shitty effects. Whatever happened to practical effects? One of the best horror movies of all time, The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing has the best effects and still holds up to this day in 2025. How is that? How is that? And we have the technology nowadays so where we could probably make this shit look like it's fucking happening to you in the theater, and we can't do it. Why?
Why? Why? Why? Why? Why?
The world may never fucking know. I don't know what's going on nowadays, but it sucks, and I'm hoping that eventually we can get back to a time like this, where, I mean, not this year particularly, but definitely there are some other years where I got a bunch of movies in the Steph Curry tier, and why can't we get back to that? Why can't we get back to making horror great again? Huh? How about this? Making entertainment, period, great again. Another one that's just a waste of my time. Rubber. Straight up, gonna go on the LeBum tier. It's Christine meets a tire. Pretty much. It is a possessed fucking tire. It is really stupid. And Please do not waste your time watching this. Spark notes it. That's all you need to know about it. Have a good one. Next one, we got Saw 3D.
Get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck out of here!
Unfortunately, I'm going to put it in the James Harden tier because, like I said, in some of these tier lists, I'm going to be a little biased. And unfortunately, Saw is a franchise that is near and dear to my heart, and I'm never going to really rank it that low. So, despite what y'all think, Saw 3D, yes, on paper, it fucking sucked. Really bad. But, to, you know, some pros to the cons, there were some cool traps. So, yeah. James Harden tier. How about that one? All right, next. We got The Shrine. I'm going to put it in the Ben Simmons tier. Mediocre. At best. Stakeland. James Harden tier. A little bit of a sleeper for me. It's a cool movie. It's like it's literally like Dawn of the Dead or Land of the Dead meets like 30 Days a Night, right? But in daytime. It's a vampire movie that's like really cool and action-packed, great kills, great scenes. So for that reason and that reason alone, it is going to go in the James Harden tier. The next we got The Rig. The Rig had so much potential because when it comes to water, I'm a pussy.
If you ask me, am I a bitch? A little bit. Catch my drift?
I hate open water. I can make a video alone that'll convert most of y'all from not fearing water to fearing water. You know, I promise you that. But back to it. So yeah, it's like an aquatic creature that actually gets on the ship. I don't know if he has like descendants or things that go on the ship for him, and then there's like a bigger creature underneath. But either way, there's this ship crew that gets antagonized by this creature, and it's pretty much like a cat and mouse game the whole movie, with terrible CGI, terrible effects. Yeah, it was not good. Trash. So the bum tier. Then we got The Ward. And that is going to go in La Bum tier. Just off the fact that you got Amber Heard in that movie. It's fuck Amber Heard. I'm not even going to give any synopsis on this movie. If you want to fucking go look at it on Spark Notes, Wikipedia, whatever the fuck you want to do. I'm not covering it. That's it. Wolfman, pretty much in the name. It is a iteration on, you know, Wolfman. Definitely some decent CGI in there. Wasn't too laughably bad. Great story on there. Great actors in there. Literally all around, not a bad movie. So for that reason, I am going to put it in the Nikola Jokic tier for sure. And then that pretty much is all the movies. I think we covered about 25 movies in there. For the entire year of 2010, I believe that there was about 838 movies made for horror in the world. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to cover all that because I'm sure, I mean, maybe y'all would want to hear me talk for that long.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
But I'm sure y'all wouldn't. So I'm definitely not going to talk about 838 movies. But I will talk about the 25 that I remember seeing. This is the tier list. Like I said, if there's any movies or anything like that on here that I'm missing out on, or a gem that you think that I should watch, or even a movie here that you think should be higher ranked or lower ranked, please let me know in the comments below. But yeah, this was fun. I'm definitely going to be covering the next video. The next video I'm going to be covering the 2011 one. So I'm going to be breaking down all those movies and then so on and so forth. And I'm just going to kind of keep it going. Next gameplay video I'm going to have out is definitely going to be, if I haven't already dropped it, it's going to be the Amenti gameplay. I think that's the one with like the tomb, like the pyramids and all that. It's like an Egyptian horror game. So I'm going to be playing that, having some fun with that. Either way, look, I'm trying to be more consistent with the shit, because my problem has been throughout the past couple of years where I let things get in my head before I even start, or I just get in bad headspaces, or I'm not consistent. I get gassed on certain things. Either way, I'm just in a headspace now where really I could give two fucks about what you or anyone else thinks negatively, obviously, in the sense like I do care what people think on a critique standpoint or like a criticism standpoint or just in general trying to give feedback. I do give a fuck about that. But if you want to just on some hating shit,
Suck my dick!
I would really appreciate it if you like and subscribe. And if you don't, then that's okay too. I mean, either way, I'm gonna still keep making my videos and having fun. So with that being said, I hope you had a great time. Definitely got another tier list coming at y'all soon. And till the next one, it's your boy MF Different, and I'll see y'all around like a donut. Peace.
This nigga's different.